Welcome to the Renaissance Woodworker and welcome to Hearne Hardwoods. This lumber yard located up in central PA is probably one of the finest examples of a boutique lumber yard. Here you can see Chuck Bender posing next to one of the smaller logs that's available at Hearne Hardwoods. With this size of lumber we're dealing with, you need a real machine to handle it. And this is the main bandsaw. This bandsaw was rescued from a ship mill. It dates back to the early 1900s. And we're looking into the main sawing room here with large stacks of lumber and just a massive saw. On that saw is a massive blade. We're actually looking at the back side of the blade here. The business end is covered up with that tooth cover there. For a little bit of scale and perspective, this is my hand. I have pretty big hands for a 6'4" guy, and this blade just dwarfs it. So you can only imagine the power required to move this blade. Here it is coiled up on the floor. And just an amazing scale of saw blade. And we got a chance to talk with the saw operator. They were doing a little bit of maintenance. Fortunately, we had just missed the sawing operations. And you can see the guides that move the saw around. There's actually a gigantic vacuum lift that lifts entire logs into place. Here's another perspective shot. A few of my Acanthus classmates standing there admiring the saw more than anything else. And with a blade that big, this is the type of lumber you look at. We're back in the stacks looking at some of the wide lumber. This is about a 5-foot wide piece, but that's just nothing. This is another piece that is almost 7 feet wide. And I looked at it and thought I was looking at the lengthwise dimension and instead found it was the width. Here was another piece that I found particularly interesting. The tool marks on here look like an adze, and I thought, who would be hewing this log, with a hand adze? Went down further and saw that this was imported from India. So it's highly possible that this log was actually hewn by hand using an adze and a hatchet, and obviously wasn't hewn there at Hearne Hardwoods. We moved over to the maple room, and this is where the period furniture makers fall in love with just stacks upon stacks of tiger maple, bird's eye maple, curly maple. And this is really, I think, where Chuck spends most of his time with his period work. We got a chance to see some amazing quality wood. Among that, you could just see the figure waiting to be released from some of these boards. You see the curly edge. This is actually English sycamore we're looking at. This exotic lumber was put to good use when Hearne Hardwoods started working on its new offices and showroom. This is the main reception area. You see the beautiful burl cabinets, the Nakashima Connally chair, and this amazing burl slab with that bar top coating. This is curly cherry on the floor. The chatoyancy is amazing. Bolivian rosewood floors, and rather than just transition, they throw a strip of bird's eye maple down on the floor to punctuate those two. This door speaks for itself with the wood and the intarsia there. Here's a close look at the reception area and that Connally chair, and a little bit of the burl table with that high gloss bar coating on top is just amazing. Of course, the structure itself is all timber frame with white oak and ebony pegs. Of course, ebony pegs. Wouldn't be good just to have white oak pegs here. We move upstairs to one of the conference rooms and see that olive wood door. This is actually going to be Rick Hearne's office with Bolivian rosewood flooring. And I mean, the cabinetry is pretty amazing. It's hard to see with the sunlight coming through the windows there, but I believe those are wingy panels. Here's another look at that door. And as we move out into the other room, we see the conference table, and around it are these Nakashima Connally chairs. Really, really beautiful chairs. I took quite a few photos of these in the hopes of reproducing one eventually. And then this Windsor high chair, and it, of course, again, made with exotics. As we look down from the conference room onto this staircase, the railing, well, actually first, this is the conference table. Again, very Nakashima-esque, live slab with butterfly splines and Connally chairs around it. And these are incredibly comfortable chairs to sit in, but imagine sitting around this table with, again, more burl cabinetry in the background. Now, as we turn to look down the stairs, we see the risers and the railing itself was made from the exact same Bubinga slab, so there's a constant color match. And that landing that you're looking at there, again, all the same log, but what's crazy about that wide landing is, and here's a better shot, that is one slab. That is not a glue up. It's all entirely one slab with some hardy usage of sapwood, light cream sapwood running throughout for extra color. As you go upstairs into kind of the entertainment area, you've got these incredible curly Koa cabinets. And look, the case molding is curly Koa as well on that door leading into the bathroom. So again, spare no expense when you have this kind of wood at hand. And to get a really good look at those cabinets, I've got a shot close up of the ebony peg against the curly koa and the mahogany panel in the door. Just truly, truly stunning work. So this is what's going on at Hearne Hardwoods, and you know, you get greeted by these fine ladies at the door, although they wouldn't wake up long enough to move out of the way, so we had to step out of their way to get to them. Hearne Hardwoods is an amazing place. I advise you to go there. Take a field trip if necessary.